When I was a little girl, I so badly wanted to be this girl's friend that was on my school bus. And she was friends with everyone except for me. And I tried to do everything I could to be her friend. I gave her compliments. I praised her. I was just totally enamored, just giving her all of this attention. And one day, she invited me to a birthday party. And I was super elated. I was super excited that I was finally being accepted by this girl. And I go to her birthday party, and all of us girls go into her bedroom to play with dolls. And she kicks me out of her room and screams at me and yells at me that she doesn't want me there. She wants me to leave and go home. And that the only reason that she invited me to her birthday party was to receive the present. And so you can imagine how painful that is for a little girl to just completely receive this rejection. And after that, I've noticed in my life that I still continue that theme of like not being liked by someone or accepted and trying to figure out what I can do to get them to like me. Well, what about this? What about this? What about this? If I do this, if I tweak this, if I do that, do you see my value? It's been a constant theme for me of like not wanting to be rejected, wanting to be accepted, and trying so hard to make it happen, which, you know that doesn't work, but yet the pattern had still been there for me for a long time. So what I've come to realize as time goes on that well, first of all, you need to not take things personal. That's this common thing that we all want to remember. Don't take it personal, because the reason that they don't like you could be a numerous different reasons. It could be a misunderstanding. It could be a past life karmic connection. It could be that you reminded them of their sister that they don't like. It could be that they're jealous of you. It could be that you smell funny. Like whatever it is, like you don't know what's going on inside someone's head. And whatever the reason that they do not want you in their life and they don't want to connect, don't take it personal, but instead just let it go and move on. Easier said than done. I totally understand, okay? It's very hard to not be accepted. We all want love and acceptance. We all are love and we all are acceptance, like accepting ourselves, right? And when we do that, when we build our frequency, the things that match our frequency are going to come into our life. So if something's not matching or connecting, stop trying to match and connect it. Okay? And so when we have a restriction with someone, when we come together with someone and they clearly do not want you in their field, instead of like continuing to knock on that door, like realize that like you're not going to break that door down. That's not your barrier to break down. No matter what you do, you are not going to be able to break that door down. Okay? Only they are, because they are the one with the restriction. They are the one that has the wall up. Now, in the same content, you also have walls with other people. And those are the walls that you need to be paying attention to, not the walls that you can't handle. Let that go, okay? If that person brings down that wall, then the energy exchange can happen, and then it can be resolved, and the energy can flow differently between you and that person. But in the meantime, when that wall's up, okay? Worry about the walls that you are setting in place with other people. Why are you setting that wall up with that person? Why don't you like them? Like, do the work with the ones that make you uncomfortable, okay? So another story, there was this woman that I met, and I did not like her from the get-go. I just was like not interested in connecting with this woman. I was kind of a bitch to her. Like, I wasn't like a straight bitch to her face, but like I cold-shouldered and just was like, don't get near me kind of thing. And for no reason, like necessarily, like it wasn't like she did something to me. I just didn't like her. And it took me a year of processing that interaction. It took me a year to receive her medicine of like, what was that about and what I needed to do to resolve that. And after a year, I actually reached out to her and was super apologetic and just did the work to bring the wall down so that we could have this new energy exchange. And now, when I think of her, all I can think of is love. It's the wildest thing how quickly that happened. I mean, it took a year process, but once we did the work, I was like, wow, I don't have any resentment or ill will or anything towards this woman. All I have is love. And it was me that had to knock down that wall. She wasn't knocking. You know, it took my time. And this is how energy is. People sometimes will break down those walls, and sometimes it takes years. Sometimes they might not. It's not up to you. You have to just not take it personal, realize there's a wall, and every time there is a wall, there is work there. But just because you feel a wall with someone doesn't mean that you're going to be the one to initiate the work. You can like let them know you're here, but don't keep trying. Okay? If someone doesn't receive you, let it go. And I know it's hard. We all want to be liked, especially if it's a crush. If you really like someone and they just don't feel the same way, it's hard to let that go. But you have to do your own work. Clear your own self, cut your cords of anything that's keeping you from your full power, and realize that that door may or may not open one day, and that's okay if it does or doesn't, because there's always going to be other doors and other things to resolve in your life. So don't take it personal if someone doesn't like you. Realize that it's okay. And just focus on your own barriers that you are putting up, the people that you aren't comfortable or uneasy or don't like. Focus on that. Focus on healing that. The things that you can control, your perspective and energy. Work on that, right? That's the only thing that you really need to focus on.